All right, some of these plants are thriving in the sun. It was about like 100 degrees yesterday and they're just loving it. But I get over on the other side and I had peppers and potatoes and they are both really getting wilted looking. So I happened to see this landscaping cloth at the dollar store yesterday. So picked up a roll. It's like $5 for 30 feet or something like that. So figured, hey, we'll give it a shot. The trick will be is if it actually survives the wind or not, but you know, at $5 you can take a chance. So that's just stapled up to the wood in the back, which is the cover for the water tank. Just stapled up, a couple of scraps of 2x4, leftover piece of white PVC pipe left over from one of the water projects, and some hose clamps. All right, stay tuned, check it out. I made this 6 feet long. That comes out past the end of here. This is landscaping ground cloth, but it does let some sun through. It's not totally opaque, right? So what I'm thinking, if I staple this up to here and then come out and then have it hang off of the end of the pipe like an awning, right? Then if I just do a stick coming from here up to hold it. So that's kind of what I was looking at, is figure out the basic size. And I got two random 2x4s that are offcuts from something else. So tape measures over there. I don't really care how long they are. I just want to see if they're long enough. So what I'm thinking, I'll just attach the 2x4s into here. I'll just put a couple screws in, drill a hole through the end of here so I can slide the pipe through that. And this is how big this is. This is 3 feet wide and this is 2 feet wide. So if I come up a little bit, all right, somewhere close to the mark. Two ways we can do this. I can make the hole saw, cut a hole, or I can just attach the pipe to the end with a piece of pipe strap. I already grabbed the pipe strap. We might as well just do that. That'll be easier. Basically what I'm creating is one of the things I hated most about RVs was an awning. Awnings are wonderful in theory. So I guess the question would be, what's so bad about awnings? What's the thing I talk about here all the time? Wind. Wind is the problem with awnings. Now I could say there's not much load on here, but there is because of the wind. So all right, I got just a little bit of point sticking out of this. I could actually use 1 inch, or not 1 inch, but like 1.5 inch screws if I had any. All right, just for the sake of getting it kind of to match. Let's see, short side will have 11 inches. That sounds right, and then kind of an angle. I think if I get it eyeballed about right, about there, that works. So I'm gonna put this screw at an angle just because the other box is right in the way. Drill bit's too short, but I got it started. At least I can get the screw to get going in there. None of this wood is that hard that you just couldn't get it started, but it does go easier if it's got a pre-drill to start. That'll work. All right, now this I'm just going to set right up on top. And I've got the pipe strap I can hang around here to hold it in place. So this is pipe strap or hanging strap or galvanized hanger strap or whatever. Basically, it's a thin sheet of metal with holes drilled. Makes it really nice to put this kind of thing together. So I'm going to make myself a little holder. And then I'm going to cut it off with the scissors I haven't lost yet. These are Medic's snips. Bought them for something else and they just happen to work really good for this. So now that I got one, I'll just make another one the same size. duplicate your mistake, right? So what I found works on this, you kind of wrap it around and put all the screws on one side. You could do it other ways, but that's what I do. All right. Using Tech screws because they're easy. It's one of those things I wished. Can't put screws in your mouth and then talk. It would be nice to standardize on one screwdriver bit. So the Tech screws are Phillips, but all the woodworking bits or screws I use are Torx. That should work. It's just good enough, right? Since I don't want to walk back in one more time, I'm going to grab my local hammer, or my best hammer. I don't want to walk in for a hammer. Whack it with a rock just so I don't have a sharp edge sticking up. The sharp edge would probably tear my cloth. Oh, that's beautiful. That's got some movement, but it's not going to go very far. Okay, so what I'm hoping is if the wind bumps it around a little bit, it's not going to just rip it off. We can always hope. I'm going to eyeball this first. Once I unroll this in the wind, it's going to take off on me. Yeah, how about there? So I'm going to make a mark and then measure 10 inches down. How about that? There we go. Just to keep it from catching the wind, right? Maybe. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to leave a flap on the end. Maybe that'll work. Good. Yeah, it's letting light through. Be interesting to see if it's enough to keep these things alive. I think the whole idea of this stuff is to keep stuff from growing underneath it. You know, this may not be the best solution, but I'll try it out anyway. Yeah, look at that. Nice. All right, one thought, because this stuff is pretty lightweight, I'm thinking if I roll it over, make a double layer, maybe about like that, find my mark. How much do I have left over? Maybe smaller on the edge. How about there? If I can get a couple staples in it to hold it still. Not in my finger. Now get the clamp down here. There. Might work. Now the trick is to get this done quickly before the wind blows it away. Not high expectations. By the time the sun gets to the west, it's getting pretty hot in the day, so I think I'm going to just staple this end down. I wasn't really sure what to do at the end, but I think that's a good idea. The east end I'll leave open. The stapler sucks. Another valid idea would be to run a strip of wood across that and then screw it. I'm also not really sure what I want to do about attaching the bottom edge, but I think I'll do hose clamps. That seems like the best solution so far. Oh good, it hasn't fallen down yet. All right, so I'm going to just wrap the hose clamp right around the end. Yeah, I think that'll work. If you've never used power tools with hose clamps, you might think this is ludicrous, but I tell you what, after about 3 or 4, this is the way to go. There. I think that'll work. So I'm going to go steal some hose clamps from another project, and we'll be back. That's actually getting pretty good light in there still. Guess we'll see. So there's one there. So I'm just going to take a knife, make a small cut in the, what do we call this stuff? Landscaping cloth. I'm a little bit concerned about that. If you make a big slice, that's where it's going to fail. It's going to start tearing there. So I guess we'll see. This hose clamp might be a little bit too small. Nope, that'll work. Good. And we'll cut it here about even distance. Try to keep the cut as absolutely small as possible. And then not lose the cut. There we go. I don't know if this is like, I'm not even sure what this material is made out of. If it's a plastic, you might be able to make a hole and then burn it. That might be an idea. Just to keep the tear from spreading. Kind of like burning a nylon rope so it doesn't unfray. Come on, that worked on the other one. There we go. Cool. Same as the first side, I'm just going to wrap this around the end. There we go. Cool. And I've got enough room to reach underneath it so I can water. I don't know, this is one of those things, I don't give it high expectations of lasting, but if it lasts a little while, it's worth a shot, and we'll see if it does any good, you know. Yeah, we'll try it out and see. The one thing I was looking at, yeah, I could run a strip of wood across here, like roll the fabric around the wood, and then run screws through it. Would be better than the staples. That's probably true. I don't have as much fabric here as I thought, so I would have to just move everything in a little bit, which would be fine. I could just unscrew these posts and move them over 6 inches, have a little more slack. I don't need it to stick out this far. I just figured that was about right. We're into June, the sun will be nearly straight up, you know, so I don't need it to hang out farther to block the sun. But yeah, we'll try it and see. If it lasts till this afternoon, I'll be happy. Anything after that is bonus. What I learned this year will decide if I do anything next year. Is kind of how I should look at it. That would have worked so much better if I would have hit record. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe and notify and Patreon and all that good stuff. Alrighty, bye for now. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you so much for following the adventure. I sometimes add information into the video description below, so be sure to check that out if you're curious. Like everyone always says, please do subscribe and click that notify bell so you know when I uploaded another video. If you know someone who might also enjoy these videos, it would be awesome if you could share it with them. Thanks in advance. And if you learned something useful, you might also consider helping to support my efforts. Options include Patreon, where you can make a small donation every month, or PayPal, where you could have a one-time donation. Or you could even send me gear from places like Amazon. Information and links are in the description and also on my Contact Me page. It's all the little bits that add up that really do make a difference out here, so thank you very much in advance, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.